You just have to make sure that the shortening is never too wet. Make sure the shortening is cold.
No. No. Not the shortening. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. The mix.
Crust.
The crust. Make sure the
crust.
The dough. Make sure that shortening is cold.
Make sure after you mix it together. And no, I keep it in the cupboard until I'm ready to mix it.
Right.
After you mix it, then it has to be at least an hour or more in the fridge before you mix it, before you roll it out.
Oh, okay.
Are you understanding me?
That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, you want the mixture.
Thank you.
You want the mixture
cold.
Cold.
It's not the shortening. I keep the shortening in the cupboard. You just mix it all together.
The only reason I see that is because it would roll out easier, right?
I don't know. That's just what works for me.
It just works, yeah.
Yeah. And usually, I think in a recipe it will tell you to refrigerate it for, until it gets until it's cold.
Well, you gotta experiment. Like, what happens if you don't refrigerate it?
I don't want to try.
You got those little pie things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see if it turns out.
Well, you can.
It's like this. It's like the story of the Thanksgiving dinner where they cut off the two arms or whatever. They're like, "Why do you do this? This is how we do it." Why did they do it?
No, that's the ham.
That's the ham.
Why do you cut the ends of the ham off?
Yeah.
Because my mom always did it. Ask her. She says because the pan was too little.
Yeah, the pan is too little. All right then.
Okay, so is there anything you don't understand?
I think I understand. I mean, it looks pretty simple. Now that's where people go wrong. I mean, what is it that you do a lot of things like the hand and everything like that. Like when you put the water on the hand and mix the water, like
it shows that in the cookbook, and that's why I had her do that. Is because it does not go in one spot.
Yeah.
It goes, and you're mixing. You notice that while I'm pouring that on there, I'm mixing it so you can feel how much water to put in.
Okay, so that is something that because that's the big part. I mean, that's the hardest part.
That is way the hardest part. Anybody can make a filling. It's the pie crust. Everybody.
See, I think that I would have a difficult part in making it too wet.
You probably would.
Yeah. So, could you be more cautious and do a lot less water at a time? Just take your time at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can turn on the faucet and you got a cup of water just like that. Like I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like it would take me psh, psh, psh,
well, that doesn't happen every time, but it amazes me at how many times that it does happen.
Yeah.
A cup of sometimes I'll go over.
Yeah.
It doesn't always but I always think, God, that's just a cup. And have you ever watched Wheel of Fortune? Have you ever watched it?
Yeah, I've watched Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
I think he's done that so many times. He knows when not to have it light on the $5,000 payoff.
Oh, really?
That's what I thought. I thought if you could do that with that cup of water, I'll bet you he knows how hard to spin that.
Probably. Well, okay. So when you put the water over the hand that has the water that's has the hand that's getting the water on top of it, you're just doing a
right. You're mixing it.
You're squeezing your hand.
Right.
And
you're mixing it all in, so you can tell how much when to quit.
When to quit. All right then. That seems pretty good.
Do you want me to do it again?
No. I mean, I have it on video. I just wanted a little dialogue with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Anything else? Anything else that's
No, just the thing is, have your stuff cold to work with. Don't be afraid to use enough flour so it doesn't stick to the board.
Mm-hmm.
Move it around. You saw me move it around.
Yeah, I saw it moving around, yeah.
And put flour underneath when you move it so that it doesn't stick to the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't worry about it. So many people have come and watched me. When it breaks apart, they do, it's ruined.
No, it's not ruined. Even if don't worry about that. It's what it tastes.
Well, you saw.
It's what it tastes like.
Yeah, you saw.
It matters.
What happened?
Oh yeah.
The bottom one the top one was way easier, and I'm glad it worked out that way, but it doesn't always.
Okay, cool.
I would say that Natalie is really a good pie maker. She's worked at it, and she worries. She's worried about it falling apart. And I said, Natalie, that doesn't matter. In fact, I talked to her a couple of days ago, and she was starting to make pies. And so I said, number one, don't get it too wet. Number two, move it around. Get your spatula so it doesn't stick to the board. And then if it breaks, you can fix it.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Not getting it too wet is the main thing. It doesn't matter. You saw, I wasn't careful with how much I handled it. I mean, I didn't worry about how much I picked it up. And then don't get your pie crust too thick.
Okay.
You keep rolling it out, and you'll get to where you can really pretty much judge, if you make it enough.
Yeah, definitely. Sweet. That sounds pretty
Let me
easy.
see, what else am I leaving anything out? You saw that I wasn't that careful about measuring. You saw me measure the cornstarch.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I want you to tell me,
If it's good or not.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I'm not like a pie connoisseur.
Well, if you
But-
like it.
The thing is, I don't like pie.
You don't like pie?
But I like your pie. Because I've never ever liked pie crust until I had your pie crust.
Yeah.
Because I think pie crust is just too dry. It takes away from the moisture. It's terrible. I don't like it. I think pie crust is always bad. Even like cheesecake. Like, I'm not a big fan of the cheesecake unless it's like Oreo crusted cheesecake. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Susan made the best cheesecake, and I'm going to